Let's do it like this.
Summer, winter, summer, June.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, here to bring you that boom bap breakfast right here on this November 6th date. Scorpios, make some noise. Putting out the call. Big up to y'all all out there. Hope y'all having a great day. Just started. Hope y'all ready for a great day and a great weekend to come. Waiting for our host to get here. So you know how we do. We do a little bit something like this. Let's get it.
MG, the history. Come on. Every soul got one today. Yeah. It's where you been and where you be. And without understanding, you cannot proceed complete. Start in the end. Then it just go round again. Again and again, brand new. Yeah.
I don't know what y'all gonna do with this, but it got to be funky. It got to be funky if you're gonna be on it. I don't care who start, I don't care what y'all do, but you got to be finished before the music is through.
Let's get it, y'all. Remix Morning Show.
Listen closely, so your attention's undivided. Many in the past have tried to do what I did. Just the way I came off then, I'm gonna come off
Stronger and longer.
Even with the drum off, I'll keep on going and flowing just like a river. I got a whole lot to give, so I'm a giver. Little at a time, new trails are blazing. Action is.
Yeah, we're taking action right here, right now, with no other than the number one host from the East Coast. For radio, the podcast, to everything. Burn it down, get back. What's good?
Stop it. Stop.
Good, Kimberly.
Stop making fun of me. Knock it off.
Knocking
Leave me
it off.
alone.
Oh man, I can't, man. You know, when you got a little sister, you gotta bother her sometimes, you know.
I feel like in high school you would have been messing with me, and then in the lobby I just would have had to drop my book bag and be like, "Come on, all right, Knock, I'm sick of you."
Yeah. I was a cool dude back then, you know. Well, so we got another text here.
Uh-oh.
Nah, it's just my daughter. All right, how's everything going with you?
Good morning. I'm all right, man. I'm having a hard time adjusting to the savings time.
What was that, like last week or this week?
It was absolutely on Sunday.
Okay.
we haven't even been a week into daylight savings time yet, so my circadian rhythms are still trying to, recalibrate.
Your what?
Circadian rhythms. Come on, Mr. Chakra Zulu. Come on, you know what?
Circadian.
Sir, CIR, circadian.
Sure. Oh, damn.
Ooh, you keep saying shush, sir. Circadian.
No, I got it now. So use it in another sentence so I can get the context.
When I had jet lag flying back from Tokyo, it took me a while to get my sleep patterns readjusted because my circadian rhythms were off.
You just use it again in the same way. All right. Anyway, I'll go ahead.
Circadian.
Don't worry about it. You ain't gotta ask
Siri.
the technology gods.
Processes recurring naturally on a 24-hour cycle, even in the absence of light fluctuations.
A biological processes within the 24-hour cycle.
Damn.
Fluctuations.
Okay. Learn something new. Y'all learned something new today. You know what I learned?
I think they knew it though. I think you learned something.
Nah, they did. They
We got
know
a
something.
PhD level chat out here, Air Doctor. I don't think you fully grasp the smartness of the
Really?
folks that way smarter than us by thousands, by a factor of 50.
In common sense too? Maybe not. Okay, I got you. So they smarter in books. I get it.
It's a PhD level chat out here, sir. That's
Well,
why
I
they
mean,
gravitate towards the doctors. You know what I mean? Because
the ear
they
doctors when they
exactly right. Yes.
they're vocal plagiarists.
Whoa. Okay.
Damn, did I get? Was I mean? That ain't nice. But I mean, if you can't come
Okay.
up with your own thoughts sometimes, and you always reciting other people's words, I mean, ain't you a plagiarism?
I'm trying to find the
'Cause
flaw in the logic. I'm not finding it though.
it's
You
not,
might be right.
you're not finding one because I talk to
Mhm.
some people and I'll be like, so that's what they said in the book, huh? But what are your thoughts on it? Well, Michi said, fuck you, I'm talking to you.
That's a conversation to have, Ear Doctor, because I feel as though like reading comprehension and lack thereof is a real thing. Like people have the ability to read, they are literate, they can actually read the words off the page. What do you understand? Like if you come back and ask the person questions about, okay, what did you just read?
Yeah.
What are your takeaways from it?
Mm-hmm.
It might be some shrugs, might be
Yeah.
some blank stares. So yeah, no, reading comprehension, very
Okay, we
important.
got a good definition from Chianti.
What's up,
Plagiarism
Keontae?
is when, what is it?
No, I'm sorry. I just shot it out, Keontae. That's it.
Okay, plagiarism is when you don't cite your sources. Okay,
Oh,
okay. Well, they're not Well, what's another word for them?
shark niggas, biting niggas.
Couple of a bunch of biting. I ain't from that era. So we fought against it. You know, I was looking at.
We did fight against it. We tried.
There's too many biters out here, but
Mm,
I was on the Instagram, right? And
mm-mm.
I was just looking at, you know, something that I agreed with.
Yes.
And it was I joke about having like different dates. The other day I was talking about, having get-togethers on like a Sunday dinner and getting together and like for the
Mhm.
first hour we all chip in and bring some type of trainer or somebody that does something
Sure.
in like a chef, a salsa dancer,
Mm.
electronic electrician, somebody that's good with tools and fixing stuff, and we learn something. And
Yeah.
then the next hour we cook and eat and blah blah. You know. So
Aw.
I was looking and I seen this page right here, and it came up with one was romantic low cost activities, and I really like this one. You know.
Is this your burner account? Is this your other page? Is this your other?
Let's bring in another professional on romantic low cost activities. Come out, okay, Franklin.
I used to be that, yo. I used to
Yeah,
be that.
listen, I still am. So I started reading and I see it says one is create a passport for local cafes and explore a new one together each weekend. All right, set up a picnic in your living room with fairly fairly lights and a blanket. Take turns creating and serving signature mocktails or cocktails at a home date. But then they had another page with low cost activities in November. Host and bring a skilled circle where each person teaches a skill they know for free. And that's what I'm talking about, like
A
community
lot of
building.
work.
Huh?
It's a lot of work. That's my problem. It's a lot of all of it sounds like it's a lot. I like your I would never employ this, but I think your idea of the picnics,
Yeah.
just from a male kind of cheap date thing. Mwah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's not a bad idea.
It's
It's
not
not a bad
bad
idea.
because you don't concentrate on the money aspect. Like sometimes some people be like, "How was your date?" And then they be like, "Well, I got took this place, that place, that place." But I didn't really have a conversation with the person because I was too busy watching the movie, too busy worrying about the food and taking pictures of the food when it came out. So we never really talked. But picnic,
And it saved you money.
parking. We could keep going. Parking, gas, yeah, a bunch of stuff. When you could have used that money to do something else.
I've always been a first date restaurant dude.
Yeah,
a nice
yeah.
restaurant,
Yeah.
or you going to Applebee's?
In New York, it
Wow.
used to be
Now
BBQ.
Applebee.
BBQs. New York BBQs. You get a half chicken, a quarter chicken. The meal was like, of course, this is like 25, 30 years ago. But you get a half chicken, quarter chicken. The meal was like $6.95. You get 2 of those. And they put big plates, B. And it just got a little ambiance. When you're in your 20s, that felt in the village too. You took it to the village. That felt fancy. Fancy.
So
You can make
Applebee's.
it.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this. Don't hold it against me. Don't hold it against me. When you're in your 20s, took your girl from the projects to Applebee. I mean to BBQs in the village. Mwah.
Oh, word! You come off with a $30 date?
30?
What? Less?
Maybe
less than that?
18.
Damn!
Walk around the village a little bit. Take the train together, a little romantic.
Take me through.
song.
Take me through there.
Yeah.
They might have some tofu ribs up there.
Hey,
now.
mama wasn't home.
Mm.
You's in, B. You in.
Oh, word.
Sometimes even if the mama's home, to be honest. You know how things work out.
Let's take it back to Applebee's though. So they got some hellified drinks. They got some good drinks, so you ain't gonna fail. Ain't gonna be no watered down drinks at Applebee's. Now the food, it's not pristine, but I mean that's not a bad place to take somebody, is it? It is.
I don't think so.
Applebee's?
What's wrong with when you're in your 20s, Kim? If somebody took you to Applebee's,
Gentlemen, are we in our 20s? I'm 47 years old. Don't take me to no fucking Applebee's. Don't take me to no goddamn Cheesecake Factory. Don't take me to the Olive Garden. Don't take me to Red Lobster. I'm a
Not even
grown-ass
Red
woman.
Lobster. Red Lobster is expensive.
Sir.
you can't do Red Lobster. No.
Yeah, Red Lobster's food is downhill.
When
now.
you're in your 30s, you could do Red Lobster. Early 30s, you could do Red Lobster.
Okay.
And think of it as a good date, I think.
Okay.
Yo, I took some shorty to Houston's. Bruh.
To Houston.
I don't know.
That's a
What's
restaurant.
Houston. See.
don't
She
know.
don't even know about Houston. You don't know about Houston, do you? There.
You can tell me, Mr. Applebee's. since you
$50
so-
like $50 plates in Houston, yo.
All right.
$50 plates. I walked out of there over $100. Easy.
That's the most expensive dates I remember. Restaurant dates. Some woman she gave the advice or whatever. And you're talking like $100. I was underneath it all. Of course, I was steaming, but I played it off like, of course. And in my head, I'm going like, shit is like over $100. I didn't know restaurants charge that. I was like,
Oh,
what?
wow.
This is not a chain.
So if a guy takes you to a very expensive restaurant, Kim, are you considering giving up the draws, or is it what?
I was going to ask you guys that because I've seen a number of videos posted.
I asked you
recently
before you asked me.
because it's wild some of the expectations that gentlemen have at paying for a meal, like what is expected or what they think could be coming in return for some food. we could have went to the store.
You can't take a woman to your house on the first date.
No, I agree with that. But my point is this: just because you pay for a meal does not pay for poontang. Okay.
I don't think you always expect sex after the meal, but
Like
you know what I'm saying. You're thinking at least grease the wheel towards at least the second or third date. That's something. There's gonna be some making out, something.
It's a lot of lubrication on that wheel.
There's a lot of lubrication.
So y'all don't understand that date, that meal, that engagement, over a intimate space and a table in a restaurant. I mean, gentlemen talk themselves out of vagina all the time on dates.
You gotta keep them laughing.
What was it? Chris Rock was always like, a woman knows when his jokes was like, a woman knows like in 2 seconds whether or not she's going to give up the jaws. And a dude only talks himself out of it by the dumber he gets or whatever. So
yeah,
that's that. I was like, I think that's true. I think women know far earlier.
I like to play hard. I like to play hard to get. It helps.
I don't believe that for a second.
What?
I don't believe you for a hot second.
Your name's still on bathroom walls in clubs from the 90s in the tunnel. They still got for a good time called Knocker. 856 73.
Ouch. Nah, man. I'm like, yo, this can't get all this for free all the time. You gotta, yeah. Nah, you gotta give me something to come up out of these clothes. Stop playing.
Okay. Give you what?
Why does it look so?
Thumbs
Wait,
up?
so if Kim said that, we will believe it, right?
Hmm?
If Kim said that, you couldn't just get her out of her clothes with a little bit of money, we would believe it. But when I say it, it's not
No,
believable.
nobody believes it. No, nobody believes that. No, I don't believe it. I mean, it's good that you believe it. I don't believe it. You just said your numbers was in the 50s the other day.
You cannot talk about anything. We were definitely not on air when that conversation was had.
Oh, my bad. I'm
Jesus.
sorry. My numbers are in the 50s too. So I'm sorry. My just so it's equal. I'm so sorry. I thought you said that on air. You didn't say that on air? My bad. My bad.
Oh. See,
I thought
are
that was an
you
on-air
getting,
conversation? Did I not start an on-air?
Kamal, are we getting to a point of your age and where we have to be, you don't know when
where, or what?
what context we were having conversations.
I'm so sorry. I could have sworn. You're right. I could have sworn that we said that was a conversation that we joked about on here. I'm so sorry, B. Yo, I'm so sorry. I could have sworn we said that on here. My bad.
Listen,
I thought we were potting. What's the thing that one nigga said? He said we're potting. Are we podcast? Are we potting?
Stop.
I thought we were potting.
What you, Lamont Hill now?
No, that's what I mean. My man says, are we potting? Let's get back to the pot. Like,
Are we potting?
We potting? Are we potting? I thought we were potting, my man. I'm so sorry about that. I really.
Oh man, I mean, it depends on your lifestyle. If you're an entertainer, you might come across more people. If you're not, you might be a librarian, or you might have a job where you see 2 people all day. So,
man, how many dudes you know out here putting up NBA player in the bed numbers? A lot, like regular. Come on now, there's a lot of sexual conquesting going on, regardless of profession or economic status.
and I was always in relationships. At least for 6 months.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, yeah.
I was always like, the look, what it is. We've seen each other. It's not like, that's not serious. You see, you want to see. I see, I want to see, not serious. Have a good time. It's not serious,
Come out for the streets. Everybody know that.
and then you can't ask certain women because there's some guys, they don't even count. They be like, I don't even count him. Is that correct, Kim?
You take somebody off your list if you already on your list. You can't take them off the list.
They do. They be like, it was like 5 minutes. I don't even count that. You see Kim face? You see?
Okay, I got another. Okay, Kim, this is a personal one. This is a personal one for you, Kim. Okay.
Chat, I need y'all to intervene. Chat, please start typing it all caps. These men's attention, because these niggas is out of control.
In a range. How many would you want to forget? Is it on average? Has it been great, or on average has it been like, well, I don't know why I did that?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Ask me.
Even assuming, rightly or wrongly, that you've never had a sexual encounter with a man, just based off how men talk about sex and describe their sexual escapades, do you really think that most dudes is out here knocking it down in the sack? Knowing men the way you know men, the way men are braggadocious and lie and exaggerate. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'm sure every dude. That's what all of us. Or we make excuse if it didn't go good, we make excuses as to why or whatever. There's always it's never really our fault.
And we don't learn breathing. We don't learn how to really pleasure a woman and not just try. No, and try. We'll see.
You're doing breathing techniques.
You sing now? You doing tantric? What are we talking about?
Tantric yoga. Yes, you're exactly right, Kim. So when you understand breathing and you understand about pleasing a woman, not just trying to get something off of yourself, then you start to grasp what it's about. at the younger ages, in the young 30s and stuff like that, you don't figure that shit out till later.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because young men are not given instruction, right?
Mhm.
They are taught to conquer as much as
Yeah.
possible, as opposed to why don't you make yourself a desirable sexual partner by actually knowing what you're doing instead of just being a slore out here in the streets. So I think that that is an important mentorship, honestly, because throughout cultures and societies historically, of course, non-European, but rites of sexual passage are a thing, right? Like
Mhm.
they do teach, you know, pubescent teens about their bodies, about how to pleasure their partner, how to self-pleasure. Like
Mhm.
these are only taboo topics I was going to say in the West, but France seems to have a very liberal sexual education policy, I guess. But in the US, all this puritanical religiosity nonsense, no, people's sex is fucked up. Their perception of it and
Yeah,
what it means.
it is. It's a whole nother thing, like in Indian culture and stuff like that. When we
Oh,
talk
the
about
Kama
tantric,
Sutra
yeah,
is
Kama Sutra, yeah, that's a beautiful book right there. Y'all act like I don't read. I mean, y'all kill me. Even though I seen the movie, y'all act like I don't read. Boy, I tell you, y'all disrespectful motherfuckers. Woo! I think it's time to get a break and go into the news because I can see where this is going.
it's just such a contrast. Like chat, I appreciate y'all being here because yesterday it was incredibly beautiful. You had all these beautiful minds congregated, discussing organization and news and all that. And then on Thursday,
You get this word.
then on Thursday,
Y'all
it
OGs to the Remix Morning Show, man. We've been here from the beginning, man. Just, what I'm saying, this is easy for us. We get up here, we get to talk news and stuff, but sometimes, we gotta
Can
ease
I
into
bring
it.
up something to your point about young men not knowing, what to do with the sex and all that? I've seen a number of clips floating around talking about, I think, young men between 18 and 25, some incredible percentage of them, like 40% of them who have never asked a woman out, have never been out on a date. And they talk about how you have this generation of
Really?
young sexually frustrated guys
Right
who
there.
are into the pornography and also into the sex chat bots that they're not putting in the social work, as it were, to get acclimated to rejection and to put yourself out there and to go and talk. It's interesting. Like there's a whole process of asexual males being fomented in our society, and what's
Oh
that going to
wow.
look like in 20 years?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you got porn right in your hand. You don't have to pay for a date. You don't have to talk to nobody. You can get your pleasures off right there without having to deal with nobody else. And yeah, we don't talk. They don't talk. They don't have communication like that. We don't have a sit down and be like, all right, well, it's more like, okay, she's a girl. I got to get her. I got to conquer that. It's no
Is there
conversation outside the box of that.
is part of that article talk about the online stuff when people are using the apps and stuff like that, or
Mhm. Let me see if I can find the clip. But it
that's
wasn't
interesting
talking
to me.
about dating apps per se. It was more so the way that this very specific micro generation, 18 to 25, 18 to 30-year-olds, just have been stunted socially, in part because of the pandemic, but also in part because of social media. They just don't engage with each other. They don't make eye contact. Like
Mm.
it's pretty, it's sad. It's kind of foreboding for
Mm.
the future, because it's like, you don't, just like you don't want an unsocialized dog, you don't want unsocialized males out here. Like
Mm.
as dangerous as the unsocialized dog, possibly, maybe more. Right. So if you
Mhm.
have millions of them, who may have some harboring of resentment towards women, maybe they're in, because fear breeds resentment, right? So if a man is scared to go talk to a woman, a young man, he might just come to end up hating her because he's afraid of her, right? And he's afraid that she'll reject him, and then she
Mm.
picks the Chad, the so-called good-looking guy, and he's getting all the anyway. It's a whole thing. But
Mm.
chat, am I making sense? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
They don't know nothing.
That's okay.
He said
All
they don't know that.
It's not in the. It's that's stuff that's not in the book. Like what we was talking about earlier, Kim.
No,
Don't
it's
ask the
not in
chat.
the book. You have to get out there. I mean, come on,
That's what
guys.
I'm saying.
About-
Chat don't know that.
How often did you get rejected, like at the roller skating rink or at the mall? You
The
know what I mean?
mall.
When
We
you
ain't
was
got
like,
malls no more.
well, that part too. Like how big a part was the mall for Gen X socialization? I'd say it was pretty big, but but by the time you're 15, you've already gotten turned down by 10 girls at the mall, right?
Yeah.
So the rejection doesn't sting as much, right?
Mhm.
So, but you keep putting yourself out there as a man. That's what you're supposed to do.
You left the house with a pen and paper in your pocket to get numbers. You didn't do that back in the day? Come on.
Of course.
Oh wow. See, look at that.
No,
Nah, see,
although it was
you.
always a great. I agree to you. It was always a great sensation when you got a number.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
almost even beyond calling the number. It was almost like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was like somebody likes me.
Like if you watch that,
Somebody thinks they want to go out with me, kind of
if you
thing.
watch The Wood, like you remember that scene in The Wood
Yeah.
when they all went out. It was like, all right, how many numbers you get? How many
Yeah.
numbers you get? He's like, I got this one. They was like, oh, it was a challenge. Challenge.
Listen.
Boy, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh man.
I did
Me
reach
and
a
my-
stage in my late 20s, early 30s where women would walk up to me and give me numbers. That was a good sensation. That was a
Woo!
Nice, nice.
Okay. Pretty Ricky, what they
Well,
used to call it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's take a break and let's go ahead and get into some news and stuff like that. We've chatterboxed enough.
That's what I had a quill. Motherfucker.
What is a quill?
An old pen, basically a feather pen.
Might I have your telegram number?
Wait, you have to credit. Who said that? Whose joke is that? Who said that?
I don't know. They already went. I'm not talking to them no more. Whoever they are, I'm not talking to them no more ever. I won't give them the pleasure of putting it up on the street.
Might I Morse code you later? Damn, son. Why you let him go at you like that? You ain't that old, man. Stop. Man, you ain't stealing no storks to you. No birds with notes on it and shit.
I hate this show.
Putting notes in the bottle, throwing it out to the sea.
Not the storks, my
Never
nigga,
again.
the pigeons.
Never again. This is my last day on the Remix Morning Show.
All right, let's take a break right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Yeah. Believe it, y'all. It's a remix on a remix. Let's
It's just street knowledge, every pussy know that. Come again now. The only way to deal with racism if you're black. Well, 7 in the It's just street knowledge, every pussy know that. Come again. The only way to deal with racism if you're black. Well, 7 in the morning, I woke up to jog. Rushed out the door to inhale the spark as I ran. I began to wonder, should I produce or should I tour this summer? Well, just that second I heard, stay where you are. Before I could stop, I was hit by a cop car. I laid on the pavement like I was hurt. Then a redneck cop jumped out with a smirk. He said, why you gotta watch where you run, as he poked my side with the barrel of his shotgun. I said, officer man, I ain't do nothing. He said, what's that word you niggas use? You're frontin', well you're frontin'. Cause why were you running down the street? At this time I had stood to my feet and said, wait a minute. And that's when he did it. He hit me in the face with his gun. I wasn't with it, so.
So let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to 1989 with Boogie Down Production off that album Ghetto music, the blueprint of hip hop. Name of that song is Bo Bo Bo, crack, 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 crack. Get your street knowledge, every passing all that. Come again now. Mixed with a little bit of 2021. We talk about the Migos. Feature artist, Young Boy NBA, Never Broke Again. Off that Culture 3 album. Yes, that is your remix of the remix. Like that button and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. And donate where? At blkliberationmedia.org. Take your phone out if you're looking at the computer screen and go to our donation QRC code and go ahead and donate. You can get you some fly gear over there. All right? It's getting cold, y'all. Get yourself a hoodie. And we got you one, Ricky. Stop playing. All right, let's get to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. All right. We are back at it like a craftmatic. Yeah.
That was good, my man. That was good.
Little son, it got out of hand for a minute. I had to bring it back, but you know, live. That's how we do it. Make sure y'all get it. You know. So later on today at 11 o'clock, in case y'all didn't know, we will be doing a classical breakdown on them called KRS-One. And yeah, we might have a guest come through to talk about some things with KRS-One also. So it's gonna be a good show. Yeah. What's going on over there?
Yo, Kim, what you doing?
I'm sorry. I was looking for videos. I'll stop. I'm listening.
To send me for stories?
Allegedly.
Allegedly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Allegations are. I'm trying to be prepared.
Yo, Kyrie P says that remix was fire. Now back to the sex talk. Popcorn loading.
Y'all are hilarious.
I'm telling you, man, a lot of people want to talk about some other things because this is crazy in this world. But y'all get to the crazy for stuff.
Well, before we officially slap the map, what we can do, which Kim, Mike, so I want to ask you about your opinions on the elections, because we talked about a little bit the other day, but I'm very curious about your opinions, particularly the New York thing. Should we slap the map first, or do you want to just do it?
Sure. We can slap the map. Mm-hmm.
Slap the map.
Slap it. Fade out. Hey, welcome everybody. It's the Remix Morning Show on this Thursday, November the 6th, 2025. It's Kamal K. Franklin. It's Kim J. Brown. It's Naka R. Pondas. And it's y'all. Chat, thank y'all so much for being here with y'all amazing jokes and wit and charm and knowledge and insight and commentary. I think we have the best chat on YouTube, dare I say. I don't think there's another chat really fucking with this chat, to be perfectly honest.
I think that's probably true. Information-wise, intelligence-wise, book learning-wise, strategic thinking-wise, intellect. I'm going to give it to them. And they got jokes every now and then. Every now and then.
And I mean, we even have luminaries joining us in our chat sometimes. You know what I mean? Some folks.
Like who? I don't know. Luminaries.
I mean, we do. I think all of our chat all-stars are luminaries, but some of them are authors. Some of them are learned doctors. You know what I mean? Like we have some people of note.
That's true. So let me get into it. Let me ask you about, do you have any particular opinions? I'm sure you've seen, heard, watched a little bit of the election results in terms of particularly the Democratic Socialists in New York winning the election. We had a big discussion yesterday about, like, 2 days ago. Oh, yeah, no, yesterday.
Yesterday.
About
I know it feels like a day is a week.
It does feel like that.
in Trump 2.0 America, yes.
About how folks feel about it, what they take away from it, and all the rest of it. Individually, I don't think it's a terrible thing. I think, again, I think it's going to be interesting to see how, for whatever seriousness he is in terms of his politics, how he maneuvers, how they try to stop him, what he tries to get done, how far or what he walks back. All that stuff sounds interesting to me during these time periods. And then somebody also, like, he noted that he did get a higher percentage of the Black vote, Latino vote than he originally got in the Democratic primaries. So I'm just curious, whatever. What you thinking on this?
Well, I like the fact that people that I hate, like billionaires in the media class and Zionists, that they're upset, right? They're very mad about that. I'm like, oh, well, he can't be so bad, right? Look who he's pissing off. And I think New York is an interesting place for this. Obviously, I'm not trying to make a correlation between Mr. Mamdani being Muslim and 9/11, but a lot of his critics and people that were trying to smear him with Islamophobia were trying to do that. So I think it's actually kind of a really big deal that of all cities, New York City did elect a Muslim. And I know that identity politics doesn't really serve us very well. So it's really going to be show and prove for Sohrab Mamdani. I'm glad that, again, that youthful voters felt engaged and wanted to be a part of this. At the same time, we are Barack Obama years old. We are Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez years old, meaning that we've seen these young brown starlets, these young, fresh, progressive voices ready to make a change to the system. They kind of barnstorm their way onto the scene. And then once they get elected, oh, well, this is harder than we thought, actually. And it's like, oh, I hope Mamdani gets in there and governs like Trump, to be honest, but from the left. Like, go in there, hold your nuts, run the table. Don't sit around. To quote a very famous movie, don't fuck around with it, do it expeditiously. So he's got a lot of expectation on him. I think New Yorkers are going to really try to hold him accountable and responsible. And of course, the billionaire class is going to try to do what they do, but hopefully, which they won't, of course, but they will stay true to their threats to leave New York City. I think New Yorkers would be ecstatic if all the rich bitches were to leave. Wouldn't that be great? Would be a whole bunch of apartments opening up. Yes.
It would bring the cost of rent, hopefully, or something like that. Yeah, hopefully.
I know I get the criticisms from Mamdani, but I just look at my question is, whose man's is this, right? Is he the Democrats' man? No. Is he the billionaire class's man? No. Okay, well, I don't know if he's our man, but he definitely ain't they man. So we'll see. And I like the fact that I saw Hakeem Jeffries be asked about Mamdani's election specifically, and Hakeem Jeffries dipped and dodged that shit. He was like, well, I think Democrats around the country did a great job. He really went out of his way not to praise Zoran's historic victory, which to me also says a lot.
Schumer still hasn't said anything. Schumer did not. He would not even endorse at the last second. Like the last second where he could have slipped in one small endorsement. He wouldn't even do that much, holding his tongue or whatever. But I mean, again, I agree, because we've seen, and this is the same. Like, again, doing the so-called progressives in the Democratic Party who were primaried by their very own party, and the party leadership stood to the side. Again, it didn't mean that these folks were as left as we may have wanted them to be, but they were left of the Democratic Party in general. And the Black caucus didn't say anything, as these two Black, I'm speaking of Bowman and Bush. So to me, he's cut from similar cloth, but maybe has even a left history, right? Progressive left history in terms, I know he's young, but in terms of what he suggests he is. And I agree. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of, I don't know who mans he is. I don't know where he's going to pull back from, what mechanisms are going to be used to make him heal, right? But they have a lot of mechanisms to do that also. And when that starts to happen, will he do anything outside the box to say to everybody, look, I want to do this. This is who's stopping me, or this is who's trying to do it. We need to be at their door every day. Like, will he lead an insurgency in a sense, because of his values or views, and be as honest as possible. Like, I want to do this, but this is what's happening when I'm trying to do that, as opposed to going behind the scenes, playing ball, compromising, and maybe just making a speech or two, but not doing anything to bring out, again, a relatively speaking, large constituency of people, a multinational group all across the city, in places, anytime somebody wins such a decisive victory, they start, the newspapers, particularly like the New York Times, starts cobbling together the new progressive coalition and what this looks like, right? And we don't know that for sure at this stage, but that Queen, Southeast Asian folks, obviously Muslim folks, Black folks, Latino folks, taxi drivers, a whole host of working class folks, and or people who've been beaten down by the city, did come out to support this dude. So I'm curious, as a kind of like I wonder where this could lead. And again, I know we've done this before, like even in New York City with de Blasio, who won 2 terms, who was supposed to be a progressive, left of center candidate, and who basically felt like it felt like there was this 8 years of waste, right? So again, this guy, but de Blasio, his first time around, was almost an excuse me hiccup candidate, because the other folks who were ahead of him kept shooting themselves in the foot, and he was like the last man standing. This dude actually built a coalition that seemed to be in favor of him, with his use of social media and other ways in which he sloganeered his way into a victory. So I'm just curious about that. I don't have a lot of, I mean, I think some of the things we talked about the other day were around what we could push somebody like this to do, or what we can get out of it, or how we challenge, or folks in New York City in particular challenge from the left to make sure that certain things get done. But I'm just very interested in what I'm happy about the outcome, but suspicious about what it means, but interested in seeing how it plays out.
And I think it's real, revealing to would-be voters, young voters, disaffected voters, when they see how the Democrats and the Republicans kind of came together to thwart Mogdani's campaign. It's like, well, why? What was he espousing? What was part of his platform that Democrats found so egregious? It's like, oh, you want rent to be affordable? Well, what problem do you have with that? You want the transportation to be free? Well, what? Like it's making people from the establishment have to answer hard questions. Like, what is it about his campaign that you don't like? You don't like that he said he would arrest Netanyahu if he came to New York? Well, how the fuck often does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, why would that be a day-to-day concern for everyday New Yorkers? And it probably isn't, right? So I'm just curious. I don't know how the electoral system in New York works, meaning I don't know how much power the mayor has absent of support from the city council. So as far as what his objectives are, how likely is it that he can do that from the mayor's office and maybe not have to get approval from Albany? I don't really know how it works in terms of New York's autonomy over its own budget and the transportation system and things like that. Can he do the things that he claims that he wants to do?
I think some things he can start to do, but there's a lot of money that the city of New York gets from the state in terms of the transportation budget. And that's probably true in a lot of ways. But New York City is the engine of New York State. So I think, and through appointments, there's a lot of stuff that can get accomplished. Whether or not he can on his own just make transit riding free, I'm not 100% sure, because there's an MTA board and the rest of it, but he would be able to put people on the board. But again, there's a lot of pressure tactics he could use. He can, this person is in charge of New York City police. He can tell them not to arrest people, or he can try to get them to turn their heads and not to be in a policy to focus on fear beating through whoever he picks for the mayor to be the head of the police commissioner. There's things that you can always do that can, as Trump does, right? There's no new laws that have been passed recently. Trump has done everything by fiat, right? By claiming executive order, which doesn't necessarily have the force of law, and then using the administrative apparatus of the executive branch to push things through by getting them to do things through their branch. In some ways, Madani has similar power at the city level through the executive branch of New York City, which is the mayor's office, where through appointments they can push certain things, they can push certain ideas. And again, he makes most of those appointments to some of these agencies. And remember, the budget of New York City is huge. It's bigger than most states. In fact, it's bigger than a lot of countries. So there's a lot of ways to shift and to move things, to attempt to bring things to fruition. And again, there's pressure tactics that at this stage he could put on the state governor, who is a train wreck, right? She's as a politician, she's prone to like foibles and making errors and statements and actually being racist and not. So
The irony is she's the only one that endorsed him, right?
yes, she did. That's right. She came out and endorsed him. Not early, but earlier than most, because everybody was late, being like, "What the fuck just happened with the Democratic Socialists?" So yeah, I think there's things that she could do. And somebody just said this about. Let me see. Somebody said this is interesting. It says for Zoran, he needs to study Brandon Johnson and do the exact opposite of what he did. Johnson dulled his progressive instincts with consulting advisors. And I've heard from other people in Chicago that was what he did. He kept in a lot of the appointments from former mayors, even from and what's his name? From
Rahm Emanuel.
Rahm Emanuel. So he, instead of coming in extremely progressive like he had promised, he tried to play the game. And only more recently did he start coming out because of the Trump stuff, and some saying, getting focused again. I think that is something that probably he has to look for in terms of people who are pushing him.
I did see a clip of Eric Adams being interviewed after the election, and it's not important, but basically he was saying that he believes that a lot of his staff or appointees will remain in the Mogdani administration, including the police commissioner. What's her name? Jessica Tisch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's nasty work too. Like she has an interesting familial backstory. But also, what Mamdani being, red smeared as a communist, right? I love to hear Trump call him a communist. The shit is it's so funny every time. Hey, he's a communist. It's like, okay. But I'm like, you realize that that's kind of turning on younger people to communism, right? Because the people are like, oh, wait, city-owned grocery stores, free transportation, affordable housing. Tell me more about this communism, So I think it's actually maybe even broadening the political spectrum awareness of Gen Z and Gen Alpha voters who are like, communism, that shit sounds cool. Is he a communist? Oh, well then what is communism?
What is a communist? Yeah.
Right.
Somebody said bring up the New York Post front page.
They was big mad.
Apparently, I need to see what it said. Oh, yeah. I'll pull this up. The Post, which the Post is the Post or whatever. So.
No, I saw a funny TikTok this morning where they were like, you're riding the J train. Alhamdulillah. we will be arriving at the Staten Island station, inshallah. But it was funny.
Can y'all see that? I got this is bad commercial. That's him. There we go. It says the red apple. With him with the hammer. It says on your marks, get set, Zoe.
On your marks, let's go, Post. All right, New York Post.
That's not bad at all, B. That's not bad at all.
Listen, I think you can tell a lot about a person by who they piss off, like who don't like them. You don't understand? You ever notice that come out even in real life? It's like, oh, well, why so-and-so don't like them? Well, they must be all right because so-and-so's an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, look at who don't like him. He can't be all bad.
I agree with that. Again, I think it's he seemed to be presenting himself as somebody who's not in the pocket of the rich and the developer class. And again, at least some of his past statements will challenge certain ways in which New York City has been an overt supporter of Zionist Israel, right? And of Zionism in terms of buying their bonds and other things. It is to be seen what if he will actually play out his supposedly his politics, and do some things that are different, and take the media heat for it. Again, as Trump, and on the other side of it, he didn't give a damn about the liberal establishment. He didn't care about the liberal media because he developed a base, and in their own way, whether people like it or not, they got people to see mainstream media as quote unquote fake news.
Mm-hmm.
And so their constituency didn't rely on mainstream media for how they got their information, well, again, I'm not saying that the information they got was factually correct, but they made sure that they challenged the idea of a certain liberalism. And I think Madani will have to do the same in a sense, because, again, New York being a very powerful media industry, the New York Times, Daily News, the Post, I think Newsday is still around. What will happen when those media institutions start saying that he's going too far left? Obviously, the Post is a given, but when the more overtly liberal ones like the Times and the Daily News, like, what will be the outcome? How will he challenge it? How will he hear when he gets certain questions? And when they start doing more media campaigns, and again, this guy survived a massive media campaign against him by these super PACs, and I think there were upwards of like $40-50 million put in against him.
And through the weight of a legacy branded candidate. You know what I'm saying? I saw prior to the election, a person on the street interview from local New York news talking to a black woman, a Caribbean lady with an accent. And she was like, I will vote for Cuomo. My whole family, we voting for Cuomo. I love Cuomo. And I'm like, whoa, that's heavy. That's heavy branding to overcome. You know what I mean? For somebody with a Z and an M and B's all in their name. So he did a very impressive victory for Zoran. Can I mention something real quick from election night in Virginia? The new Virginia Attorney General, his name is Jay Jones. One of my cousins says he's one of our distant cousins. So I like to acknowledge my cousin won the election, even though he don't know we cousins. But allegedly we are cousins. And I wish my cousin was, not a prosecutor. But at the same time, I don't know that there has been too many instances in which a black man was found to be on record threatening, credibly or not, threatening the life of a white man and his children and still win the election. Because
say more. I don't think I know this.
So Jay Jones was the Democratic nominee for Attorney General in Virginia. His lone scandal during this campaign was that text messages were released from a conversation from 2022 that he sent to one other person while he was serving, I think, in the Virginia legislature. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he was referring to the Republican Speaker of the House of the Virginia, legislative body, saying that he wanted to shoot him in the head, right? He was like, if I had 3 bullets, I'd put 2 in this motherfucker's head. Something. I mean, he talked, it was reckless talk, no doubt, but clearly he was talking to somebody he was familiar with. It wasn't something that he posted on social media. It wasn't for mass consumption. It was a private text conversation, the context of which were leaked during this campaign. And that's all the opponent, his opponent is Republican Jason Miyares, aka Cuban B, but he's a big Trumper. Miyares is. He's a bad guy. So anyway, so Jay Jones had to withstand the scandal. The Democrats wanted to walk away from him, but it was a little too deep into the race for them to totally do that. It was heavy pressure on him to drop out of the race. He did not drop out, and he won. He won. Okay. So what does that mean for Virginia? I think in the short term, or at least maybe even midterm, it means that abortion rights are safe in the state, because Miyares was for restricting abortion access in the state of Virginia. And as most of us know, that Virginia is like the most southernmost state that still has somewhat good access to abortion care. So for people that are coming from the deep South or from these deeply abortion restrictive states, they don't have to go as far as New York or Maryland or Illinois, right? You can go to Virginia if you live in Tennessee, if you live in North Carolina. So that is a positive thing that came out of the Virginia election.
He texted a friend that was a Republican supporter.
What kind of friend? It be your own niggas. What I tell y'all? Y'all better watch what you tell people out here. You see how Kamal did knock her earlier? It be your own niggas. Okay, so watch what you say to people.
That's true. Ooh, somebody got together all my texts. Like this,
Oh gosh.
this motherfucker. You know
In a
what they do?
release signal chat from the community movement builder leader Kamau K. Franklin, disparaging words.
That would be, oh my. Okay, I'm gonna bring up a story. Oh no. You know what?
What's that?
That was enough of a story. We're gonna bring back up the ear doctor.
Hey, that's
I'll come
fine.
back.
I got a feel good story.
Oh, I love feel
Oh
good.
boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Actually, this brother right here, he has just become mayor of Jones. What is it, Jonesboro? Not
Which one?
Jonesboro, Stockbridge.
Whoa.
Stockbridge is a county right out here by where I stay at in Riverdale, and he's 22. He's still a Clark Atlanta University student, getting his political science degree, and he's
I know
just
that's
became a
right.
mayor at the age of 22.
That's what we need. What's his politics? He got good politics. Or
Exactly.
We didn't get all the way there, but
he has
big
a
up
lovely
to
smile. He has beautiful.
yeah,
smile.
big up to the brother. I mean, 22 years old, you still in college, and you becoming a mayor of a thriving city. Like Stockbridge is a very thriving city. A lot of black people out there. All right.
Beautiful.
So let's go ahead and take a quick break. We got a new segment called it's called Hip Hopstery. Yes. Do you remember that?
I do remember hip hops. Are we bringing back the old and the new? Oh
See,
no! Oh no!
This is how we
it the
take the
return?
old from the new to the
Is
old.
it the return? The return?
This is the return of the Holy One. Return of the Holy One. Holy One is finally returned. Yes. Check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick break. And damn, I ain't have it ready. Break, and we're gonna go ahead and rock out right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah. Welcome out. We got no other than Minister Server, Hip Hop Bridge Builders LLC in the building. What's good, fam?
Everything's good. Can you hear me clearly? Is this thing on?
This thing is on. This thing is on. I'm just gonna sit in the co-seat over here and let you do your thing and let them know what you're doing right here, right now. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, this is Hip Hop History Month. This is the 52nd annual Hip Hop History Month, started by the Universal Zulu Nation back in 73. Just want to give a little history. You know, one thing that we want to do with hip hop all the time is connect it to the people, to the culture, so they understand that it's beyond entertainment. Big up to the Zulu Nation. I'm rocking my original Zulu beads today. I'm rocking my Yom Tivi hat, Raps hat today, and whatnot. So Universal Zulu Nation, what started off, if you go back to the 70s, we talk about crime now, but crime in the 70s was crazy. In New York alone, it was over 70,000 gang members. So it started off as an organization with the Black Spades and some of the other groups, some of the Savage Nomads and groups like that came together to find ways to save themselves, because nobody's ever come and saved Black people. That's never happened. So it was always ways to save ourselves. And hip hop was one of the ways that we began to incorporate the elements that we call graffiti, breakdancing, DJing, graffiti art, MCing, to use those elements to achieve peace, love, unity, and having fun. Turn negativity into positivity. So Africa Bambaataa, which started up as the organization, then became the Universal Zulu Nation on November 11th, 1973. Now, 1974 is when hip-hop culture began. That's when we began to incorporate the elements. Now, mind you, the elements of hip-hop have always been there. There's nothing new. What we have done is use these elements to liberate ourselves, again, to go from negativity to positivity. So in 1982, when Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force released a song called Planet Rock, the classic song Planet Rock, it literally it was like Afro-futuristic, the beats and everything. It changed everything in music. But also it gave them the opportunity to tour around the world. They began to establish Universal Zulu Nation chapters around the world, places like Japan, France, Germany, Korea, all different places. Of course, here in the U.S., different chapters. I was actually blessed to be a district manager for the state of Georgia back in the mid-2000s. So the whole thing was always about taking negativity and turning into positive. That's what hip hop was always about. Now, of course, the entertainment industry cares nothing about that, which is why we talk about rap is something we do, hip hop is something we live. That started with the Universal Zulu Nation, the first hip hop organization. Now, later on, in 2016, Africa Bambaataa stepped down because of sexual abuse allegations. And so some people stepped off from the Zulu Nation. Some people stayed with it. Big up to Zulu Union, which kept up, the principles, changed the name a little bit. Also Chosen Zulus. But at the end of the day, for us in hip hop, Black people particularly, these elements are there. They've been there. They're ancient elements that have been there. So big up to the Zulu Nation. Big up to all those that are carrying on the culture. Big up to, the B-boys. Big up to the MCs. Big up to the writers. Big up to the DJs. Big up to Air Doctor holding it down for the DJ element. It's not an accident that the foundation of hip-hop culture starts with 3 DJs. Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, Grandmaster Flash. Those are the 3 DJs. So Universal Zulu Nation, again, the principles still live. The organization is still around, despite the allegations of, Africa Bambaataa and others that have been involved. Again, you can't discount the work that's done. All the positivity most certainly overshadows the human frailties and character flaws. So with that being said, make sure that this month you are studying the history. Don't let the entertainment industry dictate to our young people what the culture is. If we leave it to them, it's just about money, hoes, and clothes. That's all they really know. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it back to my man, Air Doc, see if we got any questions on Zulu Nation or anything going on like that. And we'll move from there, y'all. Hip Hop Street.
Yeah. Yo, like 4 hip hop experts on at the same time. This is fantastic.
Whoa. I need you to relax.
Hey, come on. I was telling you, lean into the OG. Pick that quill up. Pick that quill up. Come on, brother.
Get your scrolls out, yo. Your scrolls.
Come join us over here, brother. The one is beautiful.
Hey, while you are here, Minister Server, I wanted to get your thoughts on this right here, which is you see Nas, and what's going on there is let me see. The story is Nas and Resort World New York City commit $2 million towards Bronx Hip Hop Museum construction. What's your thoughts on this whole museum?
Wait a minute, say that again. What is he did? He committed. He's donating $2 million to the hip hop museum.
Right. The hip hop museum. I'm watching on the advisory board, so I am biased, obviously. The hip hop museum, which is scheduled to open in 2026 up in the Bronx. We built it from the ground up. It's in for those that may know the Bronx Terminal area up our Grand Concourse. So big up to Nas donating that $2 million for Mass Appeal. If we can get some of these billionaires to donate monies, if we can get it open quicker as well. But big up to Nas, man. Nas is setting the face of what he's doing, not only in music, but in the culture itself. He has the Harvard Fellow. He has a Mass Appeal that are releasing these albums. So big up to young Nasir, and definitely big up to my man, Rocky Picano, Paradise Gray, Pete Nice, who are the curators of the Hip Hop Museum. And you can go online and get more information and donate. We have a one mic, $1, One Nation campaign going on. So, we ask people to give whatever they can so we get this museum open, because history is told by those that document and tell their story. If we don't tell our story, we're going to look up and Vanilla Ice and Eminem going to be way more prominent than they need to be, and we ain't going out like that.
Word. Appreciate you, Minister Server, and you'll be...
Whoa. I'm not done.
Let me hip hop expert ask questions.
I got questions. So the museum, when is the museum supposed to open?
It's supposed to open fall 26.
How much more money y'all need, though? How much more money? I mean, $2 million is a lot. What else y'all gonna do with? I mean,
nah, man. Listen, man. We are on $100 million campaiging because to get the artifact. You see the building
to house microphones and.
Man, see again. If you think there's gonna be microphones and turntables in there, Doctor, make sure I smack you in the head. But there's gonna be way more than that in there.
There's gonna be no like sneakers, a couple of hats.
Adidas.
We're gonna be interactive classes and things of that nature in there.
But wait a minute. Have y'all gotten donations in of some of the artifacts?
Definitely. We have, again,
Give me a couple. What y'all got?
Microsoft, we got Google, we got
No, not the corporations. No, I'm saying what are
the
the
artists.
artifacts?
Artifacts.
Like any artist, of course, giving y'all
Man,
some artifacts.
listen, we have the original board. We have the original equipment from DJ Kool Herc. We have the original artifacts from Grandmaster Flash. We have the original flyers, because remember, prior to social media, the flyers was the way the word was getting out. So you have some of these flyers, like the original flyer from hip hop actually sold at an auction for $27,000.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? So we have a number of different things, because again, once we start to establish, you have Harvard and Cornell and the Smithsonian that have different things, but we want to make sure that we have our own artifacts. There's a number of prominent artifacts. There was a show on VH1 called Hip Hop Treasures that Paradise Gray and Pete Nice, who are two of the curators of there. So we have a number of different things, but the main thing is going to be interactive as well, to teach the history beyond just rap music. We celebrate not only the original four, breaking MC and graffiti DJ, but knowledge. We study. We talk about fashion and entrepreneurialism. So all the different ways of the culture will be represented in there, and we'll go from 1973 to the future. So we're building a museum that's going to last a time. So it's very interactive. It's very high tech, because we're not building it for the OGs like you and I come out. This is for our children and our children's children. See?
No, I think a hip hop museum, one controlled by Black folks, organized by Black folks, celebrating Black culture and history, is a good thing. All jokes aside, I appreciate the effort and the work that's being done to do it. And if we're controlling, hopefully people who have a good, people like you who have a good legacy in hip hop, who will tell the real story, stuff like that. If y'all do want some donations for me as somebody who was around during that time, just let me know. I just pulled out my beeper from back in the day.
Nice.
And donate that.
And you know what? On a side note, we're in conversations to have the Atlanta Hip Hop Museum, because Atlanta's so large now. We have a segment up there. Atlanta needs its own thing, and not just
it's all East Coast. It's all East Coast.
Atlanta on the East Coast, ain't it?
It's all East Coast.
And listen, Kamal, as much as I love you and respect you, my brother, we're gonna pause when you giving any hip hop advice.
With that said, Kim, you got anything before Minister Server get out here so we get some more news?
No, I'm looking forward to because is Minister Server our special guest at 11?
You'll have to come back and check it out, won't you?
Maybe.
Someone who DJ'd for KRS-One, actually.
Whoa.
Yes. So we'll get into it. Minister Server, thank you very much. We'll be coming back and doing this on the.
Look for me coming soon. Hip Hop Bridge Builders on Black Liberation Media, from what I heard.
Yeah.
So,
That's what we need. We need a hip hop show, B.
That's right.
We make a lot of. Wait a minute. Whoa.
A rap show, a hip hop show. Word.
Yeah,
did I say that?
Yeah, there we go.
You did.
All right. Peace out, Server. All right. Y'all can get back to some news.
Cool.
Thank
y'all.
you. Hey, what's up, chat? Remixers. Fire Famas, even. Come on in here, like the video, subscribe, join blkliberationmedia.org for the support. We appreciate it. Kamal Franklin, Kim Brown, the Ear Doctor. Shout out to Minister Server, per usual. And what else we got on deck here, Kamal, for news?
You got a couple of things. I think you can send me some stuff. You want to leave with some of the stuff you sent me?
Everything's I'm just waiting. I wish we could talk about 3i Atlas for the next 2 months, but I'm
pulling up here 3 different stories. Won't you pick one? I got an Anderson Cooper one and some others. All right,
run that Anderson Cooper clip, because that's what I was talking about earlier pertaining to the younger generation of men. And I don't know how this breaks down via race. I don't know how this breaks down via income status or whatever, but the concern is that there are a large contingent of young men that are deeply unsocialized, and that could be dangerous for us all. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna run it from the beginning.
The sound up of enragement, polarization.
From the beginning.
A woman in person?
Never asked a woman out in person.
Okay, start from the beginning.
What they're up against, think about it. Our economy literally rests on.
Okay, here we go.
45% of men 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in person?
Never asked a woman out in person. And what they're up against, think about it. Our economy literally rests on 10 companies now, often referred to as the Magnificent 10. And they do several things, but quite frankly, they're in the business of enragement, polarization, and then sequestering young people from all other activities.
And that's only getting worse given where AI is going. I mean, with like, agents and chatbots who are, sexually clad anime type figures chatting with young men.
Well, it starts pretty innocent. When you use AI, have you noticed the prompts that are almost irresistible at the end? Let me put this in a series of tweets. Right. Before you know it, you're 3 hours deep. Right. But effectively, these companies have attached the entire economy and literally trillions of dollars to trying to get people to, or trying to convince young people, specifically young men who are more susceptible, because quite frankly, their prefrontal cortices isn't as developed, to try and convince them they can have a reasonable facsimile of life online. Why go through the hierarchy of trying to make friends? It's not easy, right? Why try to figure out how to navigate a corporate, all this, when you can go on Reddit or Discord and find friends, or you can trade crypto or stocks on Robinhood or Coinbase? And why, Anderson, would you go through the rejection, the dressing well, the effort, the expense, the humiliation, developing a kindness practice of trying to establish a romantic partnership when you have literally lifelike synthetic porn? So what are we doing? I think we have our economy is attached to one objective, and that is to evolve a new species of asocial, asexual males. Unintentionally, we have an economic interest right now, I would argue, in planning our own extinction.
45% of five have never approached a woman.
Crazy.
Thoughts? Question mark.
No, I mean the only thing I would say as a backstop to it is, like, I don't know, even when men were being social, if that somehow meant that there was a difference in let's just say negative criminality stats geared towards men in terms of either sexual abuse or whatever. So I'm not sure if this portends to some suggestion that because men are because of the potential that men are less involved in society, does that make them is there some suggestion that this is making them in general more apt to do things that are dangerous for both them and for general society? But two, just on the idea of like the human connection, I think that's something that's been lost for a while, or getting lost. But I mean, I would agree, like that one of the things in which everything portends to is us living our lives through screens and never having contact. And I agree with all of that kind of analysis. The fact that through human interaction, again, it doesn't all go well anyway, but the understanding of getting to know people, having real emotions with people, having relationships, ending relationships, starting new relationships. The fact that those numbers say 45%, that is amazing, because that's close to half of, I assume, the U.S. population of a certain age range. That is huge. I think that folks have not interacted enough with their fellow human beings to even ask somebody that they may like out on a date or to come or to hang out. And I think that probably goes true for, like, if that's in terms of starting romantic relationships, even friendships, right? That where it's all geared to be this online world. So I think that is great. That is a very disturbing, dystopian type of fact that makes again, the world, the United States is shit anyway, but this even makes it the way we're being driven economically to think of ourselves and our interactions with people is very scary.
I don't know. I look at the age range. What did they say? 18 to 25. And I'm like, okay, let's go back 10 years. Let's go back 15 years. What was happening in these young men's lives when they were boys? And what clearly was happening is that, their parents was just giving them over to the internet. You know what I mean? The kid wanted the new smartphone. He got it. Kid wanted the new game console. He got it. Mom and dad happy as hell. That little nigga's in the room not making a sound for hours. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, you're turning your son over to the internet, right? And all that entails. And the lack of socialization and interaction with his peers, with potential romantic partners. These are all formidable years in your pubescent and teen and young adult that help to develop and formulate who you will be foundationally as an adult. So when these kids, young men in particular, boys, are being withdrawn or not even forced to engage in these social spaces, it will have a detrimental effect, not only as them as individuals, but on society at large. And it makes me wonder, just what kind of girls, in terms of your daughters, like what kind of partners are going to be available to them when they get to be adults. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be the dude you can't get out the room, he don't want to go outside because all of his friends are online and they all on the game at the same time? Like it's weird. So I have concerns for the younger folks. I have concerns for us older folks. Wait, there was another song. Go ahead. Go ahead,
I was just thinking, like when you talk about the gaming. So I'm a gamer. My kids are gamers and stuff like that. Call of Duty. Back in the day, or when you played Frogger, you had to bring somebody had to come over and y'all would play together. Now, Call of Duty in certain games, you can only have play with somebody online. You can't have a split screen and y'all two be there playing. It's like you can only do it online. So they're making games so that you don't gotta have nobody there. You just there by yourself and you get online just to play people. So
And
you
then people
really don't
talk
have
trash to each other in ways like again, I don't notice. I only notice
right.
discussions, whatever, the way people talk to each other in ways in which they would never say face to face either.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so the inhibitions of like
Mhm.
talking to a screen when there's no consequences
You
of
gonna
like
get punched in the
going
face.
too far. Yeah, there's no consequences. So everybody thinks that that's the regular way to talk, which again does bring out a certain level of like inhibitions are gone, and you think you could just say anything. And that like you said, there's nothing physical that's going to happen because of it, and it unleashes, like I've heard about some of the racism and all that kind of shit that people spew. And again, these are games about killing people too. A lot of these games, they're like about the idea of killing people. And these days that you hear stories, not even stories, about the ways in which drone operations work in the military, which are about having young men in particular, but not exclusively, are basically sitting in front of video screens, murdering people in real life, but it looks like a video game to them because they're operating from a screen point of view, and it's almost the same feel as the ways in which these video games work. So again, it's another dehumanizing. So it's already, pilots who drop bombs on people, sort of the dehumanization of not seeing how those bombs actually are when they in real life explode. And now you're going to another level. It's like you're not even sending human beings up. They're sitting in rooms next to each other talking about their kills and their hits, and they're really killing human beings. This is not even about some fake ass video games. They're killing human beings.
And where you think they're gonna find the best people to do this? The gamers. They're gonna get the gamers. That's why they got college degrees where you can get in gaming and this, that, and the third. It's wild. And even with the dating apps, you don't face rejection. You either get picked or you don't. You don't. Nobody be like, nah, I ain't fucking with you. You can't have my number. Now it's you like, and if they match you, then no rejection.
Can I also say, and this is an unpopular opinion, but the pussification of these kids, meaning that these kids is soft as hell. Meaning that, so the child, let's for an example, your 10-year-old is exposed. You gotta take them to something where he has to speak in public, right? And he's terrified. He's so nervous. He's, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I don't. Okay. Well, you don't have to go do it, baby. Just go sit down. You don't have to do it. And, well, yeah, because speaking in front of people gives me anxiety. No, it's something that you have to develop. It's a skill. You overcome it, right? Yeah. But I think parents are so quick to not force their children into uncomfortable situations because, oh my God, they have anxiety. We all have anxiety about some shit. Everyone is nervous and afraid to do a thing until you do it, right? You don't. And I think a lot of these children's experiences are being stunted because the parents don't want to expose them to a negative thing or have them have a negative, experience. And it's like, that's life, baby. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing your kid no favors by not putting them in stressful situations, because that's just what it is to be human. So when you coddle these children, well, he don't want to do X because it gives him anxiety. Okay. So I guess you just want him to never defeat the thing, huh? He's going to be crippled by this particular thing for the rest of their life. So
Yeah.
I think that the kids are not being made to do stuff. And I know Gen X, we'd be like, our parents made us do shit and that shit was mean. Maybe it was a little mean, but at the same time, you learn how to face it and confront it, conquer it, deal with it, adjust to it. And I don't think children are getting that, particularly boys these days.
Yeah, they're not. And like I tell my kids all the time, I was like, failing is the first step to succeeding. You got to go out there and try and mess up, and then you could be like, okay, I'm gonna do better next time. But
But
if
then
you
I
scared,
also understand why they get anxiety too, ear doctor,
mm,
because everything is documented, right? So they feel as
mm,
though all their failures, all their mistakes, all their missteps, all their goofiness, their awkwardness is being documented just to
true.
be reposted and gone viral. And then so I can understand all, different aspects of it. But yeah.
All right.
I was going to say
Good.
quickly too. I mean, this is a little stretch off what we're talking about, but particularly for our community, Black communities, it's like, and I also feel like there's this depoliticalization that's happened online. Where again, even though we just got finished talking about hip hop and how much everybody loves hip hop and the rest of it, but when we don't talk about some of these things, when you like, I think I just read recently that Joe Budden's podcast is like the most
Buttons.
popular.
Yeah.
Budden podcast is like the most popular podcast. That was part of their discussion around this. So just to think about how they get upset anytime that what's his name brings up political topics on the show.
Mark Lamont.
Mark Lamont Hill brings up political topics. It's like, and again, it's not new, right? This has always been part of the landscape, is the depoliticized population. So they think the only things in life is kind of a romantic sphere of life, or making money, or dressing a certain way, or looking a certain way, and towards women, it's in particular, like looking a certain way, makeup and face and dress and all that kind of stuff. So there's ways in which these online activities also are sort of a continuation of flooding us towards a consumerism and a staying out of the public square, right? Staying out of public life and having large discussions on which way forward for how lives should be ordered, how government disposes of resources, how we would like to order our lives and participate in everyday affairs, as opposed to, again, these businesses, these not a billion, trillion-dollar businesses, which are now leading us towards a certain way, in which we're, again, always been there, but now it's like it's sort of hyper, it's going into hyper speed, but a certain way in which we are supposed to live our lives and talk about things, and the things that we're supposed to be interested are all manufactured around us. And with AI, I have a story about AI not making a profit yet coming up, but with AI and all the rest of this stuff, again, people are putting billions, if not again trillions of dollars into some of these things, with one, the hope of making profit, but two, just the hope of controlling a new form of technology, which will blanket us all in terms of how we receive information and what we think is real.
Mm-hmm. I like Mark being on the show. I'm not saying I like the show, but I like, because just like me being on this show, I'm the art person and y'all are all political, like politics. For them, they're all talking about art and gossip and stuff, and he comes with the politics. So I think that balance is needed, especially on a show that reaches so many people, where these topics can be brought up and be like, all right, it's not always about art. And it's like I always come over here, it's not always about politics. Sometimes it's about the art. So I like it. I like the balance.
I don't know if I feel like he gets the chance to talk about. Again, I'm not a huge watcher. I only see it when I see the clips, because whatever algorithms, like, in terms of knowing how to beat the algorithms, they have seemingly successfully beat them. Because in fact, I will say I've never watched the show, but yet it's all through any kind of social media stuff is some clips of the show. And maybe because it's Mark, so I see the clips that they post of him and sort of some of the interactions and the playful commercials and all that stuff. So I'm again, I believe in bullshitting around and bullshit humor and jokes for the sake of jokes. But I think part of me is also like, and it's not that it doesn't need advice from me, and it's not like he doesn't do other things, of course, too. But there's parts of me that feels like it's a waste of what his role should be in this particular moment in time, because I do think he's a relatively speaking popular, well-known Black intellectual who has a left politic, and who should be, at the very least, in my opinion, not just reporting, and I don't like even the reporting, not just reporting on news or not just airing stories of the day, but who should be actively telling people to get involved in the organization and the rest of it. And he knows everything that people like of our ilk know, plus more. I'd assume, because he probably reads more and he studies more. So part of me is like, I want him to do more in that vein. Not just I'm dispensing information, but I would like for somebody like that to be someone who's telling people around join the organization and just a little bit more fierce in the politics. So that's my only critique of it. It's like, it feels, of all the people who need to do something like that, I feel like he's got a way. He knows how to make resources. So I feel like he should, in my humble opinion, to like, as I do like to tell people what to do, he needs to push his own politics more and around how we should be organizing.
All right.
Bye.
Joe Budden has the top podcast, huh?
That's what I heard. I mean, there's not enough people watching the Remix Morning Show, which is the problem.
Well, I mean, because there's no allegations against you, Kamal.
Why gotta be about me though? I don't want
or against me for all the fuck I know. I don't know. My point is this: cancel culture is fake. It's fake. Fake. There's no such thing as cancel culture. Men could be accused of all kinds of shit. Number one podcast, President of the United States. Cancel culture is fake.
And he only had one hit, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he had one hit.
Let it anyway. I was about to make a tasteless joke. I was about to say he asked his ex-girlfriends. He had several hits.
Oh,
but don't boom. No, that was bad. Shame on me. That was
maybe,
terrible.
but maybe accurate.
I know cancel culture's fake. Everybody, you can't be saying shit about men because women be making shit up, and then you ruin that man's life. Where? Show me the man life that's been ruined. I'm waiting. Where is it? Ain't no such fucking thing as cancel culture. Men can do anything against women and they will be not only rewarded, but they'll be elevated. And other men can't wait to work with them. Isn't that funny?
Sheesh. Oof. So I wanted to bring that because since we were sort of talking around this topic, and this is one of the stories in our run sheet from a New Yorker article, but that one is behind a payroll. So I just wanted to have the discussion. Since most companies aren't seeing a return on AI investments, and it says there's a tech CEO who wants to change that. But what is more important for me is like the artificial intelligence industry has a big problem. 95% of companies that try AI aren't making any money from it, according to a report from MIT last month. And one AI executive says they know why. There has been this general promise of, hey, y'all just plug into the AI model and everything will work. And they're saying this is a little bit different. Scale is primarily known for helping to make AI work at a fundamental level. AI giants need massive amounts of data to train their large language models, and it needs to be labeled and categorized so that models can learn. It says it's crucial. It's such a crucial business that Meta bought 49% stake in Scale AI back in June. $14 billion valuation, or valuing the startup at $29 billion. As a part of the agreement, the founder, then chief executive, Alexander Wang, and several other top employees left to work for Meta. Scale says that data labeling, well, I don't care about that part. Let me go with this one. Making AI make money, despite clamoring from C-suits across corporate America about the promise of the technology to make business run more efficiently, most companies aren't seeing a return on their AI investments. MIT's August report contributed to growing concern that the AI market might be a bubble waiting to burst, even as the industry is propping up the U.S. economy. Among the prominent clients, the Scale is helping to build AI applications are the Mayo Clinic and several others. So I wanted to put that out there because it is seeming to me that all the media rage is to talk about AI, is to discuss how AI is the next big thing. And I think similar to the tech bubble, I think like it was in the 80s and 90s that burst, that the market capitalization for some of these corporations is huge, and the infusion from investors are huge, and and folks are spending that money on, obviously, the CEOs pay, because that's what happens when these corporate investors or these funders put money into these corporations and get stock out of it. Until they get return on the stock, what's happening with that money, obviously some of it is going to research and development, but a lot of that money is going directly into the pockets of the employees, including the CEO, because that's where they're getting their money from. They're not getting money from any profits or whatever. So I think this potentially this bubble doesn't mean AI will go away if a bubble breaks, but I think it has now this overwhelming kind of image within the economy, that we're waiting for another sort of capitalist bubble to burst, which will impact larger people who never even fucked with AI.
Hmm. No, I mean, the way that corporate structure and the U.S. Federal government investment into artificial technology, as though it's this inevitability that it is going to be ubiquitous in our everyday lives, and yet it still answers basic Google questions wrong, right? Like, so it's not a trustworthy sort of technology as of yet. And honestly, I think that's how most people do use it. Those who do use it, by the way, for they kind of use it for Google, like just to ask it basic, simple, factual questions. Some people use it to write, business plans. Some students use it to help them with their homework and etc. But I'm not seeing personally the overall benefit to society that AI brings, especially when we look at how much resources it gobbles up. The fact that the goddamn data center needs fresh drinking water come out will never not blow my mind, and that our elected leaders are very comfortable with signing over the drinking water for humans over to the computer. And it's like, wait a second, water is finite. I understand there's a lot of water in the ocean, but the drinkable, potable water, there's a limit to that, and I don't think we should be giving that to the computer. But this over investment, this multi-trillion-dollar investment, and then from not only federal government but state governments as well. I just saw a story I meant to send you from the elections pertaining to the Public Service Commission in Georgia. Do I have that right? Whoever is I didn't realize these are elected positions, by the way, and they got Republicans out, got Democrats in, but apparently over the past several years, with Republicans dominating this particular Service Commission board in Georgia, they have approved 6 rate hikes in utilities over the past several years, and a lot of this is simply just to offset the usage being gobbled up by the data centers. I think I heard recently that in the state of Virginia, which is like the home of data centers in the United States, like 40% of Virginia's electricity usage is going to the data centers, and like that's not sustainable, especially when they keep talking about building more of them. So it's like I don't understand. I do understand, but I think people, consumers, everyday folks are very quickly realizing that this is not a mutually beneficial relationship for all of our land and water to be given over to these data centers, and people's quality of life diminishes, and it helps to keep the surveillance state alive with all these data centers. But also, hold on, who was it? Sam Altman? I keep getting these crackers names mixed up. Which one is he, y'all? Chat remix chat, is it Chat GPT? Which one is Sam Altman? OpenAI. I told you, Kamal, they said that they're about to start allowing like sports betting and like porn onto the OpenAI. Why? Because it's not making no money. Nobody's signing up for the premium. So it's like, why are we investing so much? We, as our public funds, our public lands, why are we investing so much in this unproven tech literally to the detriment of funding other things, right? And I'm also concerned here in PG County, they just closed the Six Flags Adventure Amusement Park. Organizers, including some joining us today, worked hard or came out to make sure that a data center was not being built on the site of
Mm.
Old Landover Mall. I think PG County put a moratorium, very brief, like a 6 months or whatever, on building data centers. And I said, okay, well, look at that. They will concede to the public. They might say, hey, we won't put a data center here at Landover Mall, but how about we put 3 over there at Six Flags Great Adventure now that the amusement park is closed? Like, I just see our elected officials, our public servants are just giving all of our shit over to these data centers. And
And these things are huge. And what I've said, I think I put up a picture of one a couple of days ago. These things are like huge complexes,
yes,
which I assume are just filled with rows of computers that may cause, again, there may be some jobs in terms of monitoring, but it doesn't, but this is not some job boost either, because the technology is run from the standpoint of the computers gobbling up all the information and then sort of recycling it back and being somewhat good at well, supposedly somewhat good at having some interactions, making you feel like, again, that you're interacting with somebody or something seems lifelike when it's not. So the whole idea, the whole thing is kind of like this tricky system, or this trickery that's built in, that's supposed to make us think that this artificial intelligence is almost like us. And then again, it's going to convince us to all sit down. But you're right. Most of the AI I've seen, I've not paid for any of it. I'm not, I've seen like it's all in Google, it's all in the other stuff. And I guess maybe their business model is to get you addicted to something or make you feel like, again, that you need it. The way Google probably operates at first, and then it's about getting data to then send you things to get you to buy other product or whatever, or to gear you towards buying product. Because Google seems to work best in terms of its corporate abilities, because it's also getting money from businesses to get those businesses in front of our face, right? I swear to you, I've had moments where I feel like I've said something about, this is recently something about like a house or something like that, and all of a sudden I don't remember typing it in, or I started getting these articles, like if I was looking at the New York Times or just scrolling for something that was about a house or about it. It's like, I swear I don't remember typing shit in.
It's not even subtle anymore, the way that they surveil us, right? Like, it's not even like, do you get the echoes on your phone? I know I'm being a little Ray Liotta in Goodfellas right now, but I mean, it's so obvious how we're being monitored, right? Because you're right. I get that shit all the time. I talk about, mason jars, and then all of a sudden on my TikTok, we got some mason jars on sale at the TikTok shop. Oh, do you? How did you know I was looking for mason jars? But also, Kamau, I think that the AI, like it's a nefarious kind of psyop against the youth in particular. I think that it's being marketed to kids as though you're going to need this, right? Why do homework when you can just let AI do the homework? And then the nasty ways in which AI is talking to children. I just saw a story on CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, where a woman was in her Tesla with her 12-year-old son, and the son is talking to the Grok AI, whatever. And all of a sudden, the Grok AI asked the child to send it nudes. And the mother's freaked out. She's like, why in the fuck is Tesla asking for my son to send nudes? Again, there's a whole nasty underworld, gross contingent to this AI stuff, and it's trying to ensnare children in very, very weird dystopian ways. And that's why I think we should all be trying to reject it. I understand having knowledge and awareness, and we need to use this technology because it's a new tool and it's the future and all this shit. But at the end of the day, you the product, okay? Yeah. Like, you the product. So don't be giving all your business to AI. Don't be asking AI psychological questions about mental health and all that shit, because by the way, all that stuff is subpoenaable. So be careful what you ask your chat GPT, because again, like your phone, it's a snitch.
I remember, like, I know a lot of times people will say, and I think there's some truth to it, of course, that all like these tools are neutral, right? But it's like, but in whose hands? Right. Like if they're in the hands of again, the capitalist class and the developers, and they're no longer neutral. And the point of them is not to be neutral. They're not introducing I think Silicon Valley show And one famous line was they would have all the people who were the tech giants always saying how they were introducing this new technology to make the world a better place kind of thing. So it was like this running joke that no matter what they would say at the end of every speech, it would be like, and we're doing this to make the world a better place or whatever. When obviously the actual reason is that they are doing it to make profit and or to make money, whether that comes from profit or whether that comes from investors. But the point of it is that they want their corporations heavily monetized and invested in. And at this stage, some of them are working out the profit motive later. But again, so they're not neutral technologies. There are ways in which they get us addicted to the screen time, to the information and the ways in which they present it, to the ways in which they tell us these stories. I mean, there's so many teachers too who talk about now they have the public schools are introducing certain kinds of like sort of tech to be teachers for the students around certain things. But then that comes with commercials, or it comes with little advertisements about the product itself. And the schools are falling over backwards because they're thinking, oh, maybe that means they'll bring down their costs because they won't hire 1 or 2 more teachers, or this is the wave of the future, so we have to make sure the kids know about it, or they're pushing the idea of the STEM. And once we get this technology in there, people will see how useful it is, and people want to be interested in sciences and stuff like that. So all things that may sound, some of these things may sound, again, neutral or helpful, but they're really about these corporations that are pushing technology, which they don't care about that. They care about getting information and data and hooking you to a certain way in which you receive information. It's almost like hooking you to heroin or something like that, like pushing drugs in your body. And once you get used to it, it is very hard to cut yourself off. And it does make changes. Individually, I've said this before. I feel like my individual ability to pour. I used to be able to pour through books and read books like 2, 3, 4 a week when I was a younger dude. And I feel like I still read, but I read on the phone. And so I can't pour through books to where I used to. Obviously, there's life changes also. But a lot of it, I feel, is like a conditioning of a rewiring of your mind around where you see the place is to sort of settle in and to find things out from. And now I find things out from my device, which is, shorter articles. They're not as in depth as books and so forth. And so it was almost great that somebody like me, older, as folks have noted, who had a chance to read so much at a particular time period before all this technology kind of appeared. Because now, like, I feel similar. There's some people, of course, I know who are great readers, but I do feel like in terms of going back to a younger generation, the other thing that folks are not doing also is the completion of reading of books at the same quantity as some folks did when they were younger. So,
no, the technology. This is why. I mean, I don't care how old I sound. I don't care. The technology is not all it's cracked up to be. Like, this shit ain't great. this shit ain't wonderful. You ask AI basic questions. Sometimes it gets things wrong. Okay, well, I thought you supposed to know everything. AI, I guess you don't.
I think. No, I was just saying, I think it is whose hand it is. You can have somebody with a glass of water that can help somebody hydrate, or you can drown them with it. It really depends on whose hand it's in. And a lot of AI can help, and a lot of AI, depending on whose hand it in, it could fuck you up. I seen this right here, and
whose mind did it come from? You know what I'm saying? Is that what you mean by whose hands it's in, or who's using it? I think more so it's who created it, right? And for what purposes? Because you're only able to use it the way that they mean for you to use it, right? So if all the creators are evil, which I suspect they are, like, how much good can we do with it?
Yeah. So, like, I just seen this on this whole digital blackface thing right here. Check this out.
Now let's get to a story about something called digital blackface. That's when a creator uses an AI-generated video to drive racially charged misinformation on social media. The videos, like this one, have sparked outrage about who benefits from the SNAP program. Channel 2's Audrey Washington went to Emory University in DeKalb County to find out why professors call the videos dangerous.
And these AI-generated videos are pretty disturbing. They actually flood our timelines every day. Now some AI experts are explaining why these videos are spreading misinformation.
What's wrong with the car? It ain't working nowhere.
You've probably seen them before, those social media videos showing mostly black women complaining about losing their SNAP benefits. This video shows a black woman wearing a bonnet and screaming about losing her EBT card. But AI experts tell me the videos are fake, just AI-generated images used to spread misinformation. Emory University professor Rajiv Garg.
It is blinding people in our decision-making capabilities, in making the right judgments.
Right now, there are hundreds of these racially charged AI videos, otherwise known as digital blackface, circulating on social media. AI experts say the videos became popular when the government shut down and people lost their SNAP benefits. Morehouse College associate professor Dr. Adria Welcher says the videos perpetuate a stereotype.
This trope of sort of the welfare mother being associated with black women has been incorrectly perpetuated for decades now. What we know is that black women are not the largest percentage of American citizens represented who are receiving SNAP benefits.
All right. So even with that, it's just like you got to think about these algorithms. Certain algorithms are going to go to certain people, so they're going to keep seeing this misinformation.
I mean, but what's the difference between that and when Ronald Reagan presented the welfare queen trope, right? Wasn't that misinformation? You know, the amount of places that you could, you know, we didn't have cell phones and obviously even cable back then, but for the outlets that Ronald Reagan was able to get that message across to, it landed where it was supposed to land. So this is just an extension, a further evolution in this specific usage of AI, of trying to demean and stereotype black people, but that has been constant in the United States. It's funny, we could see the misinformation about, you know, racial stereotypes and tropes sort of evolve with the technology. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see.
It's also interesting to me is like, so they if some and I'm assuming this would be true, right? Hopefully, like if black actors like saw these scripts and be like, what the fuck is this? Like, don't even have to worry about that. Like nor do they have to actually put themselves in actual blackface. They'll just create an image. And I think I saw one other one like that. So I actually did want to bring that up because like, I agree. I totally with Kim, like this is a continuation of a historical idea, again, around making poor folks, black women in particular, be the target of these white races in terms of how the government is wasting money or how black people are lazy and the rest of it. And now they don't have to go back to old standards. They can use an AI technology and create these. And these are not, obviously, these videos are for their audience, right? An audience that's already prone to or racist, an audience that already believes this stuff and this gets reinforced in their minds, already a MAGA audience of folks who already think this kind of stuff is valid anyway. And it doesn't matter what stats you bring up to tell the truth about who's on public benefits. And I think we did this a few weeks ago in terms of the largest percentage of people who are on public benefits. And again, the way public benefits, when it was serving mostly white communities historically, was thought of as a good thing, had a huge amount of support across the larger white population in the United States. And it wasn't until it was perceived as to be helping black folks or too many black folks did it then receive this negative connotation and this thing that must be cut from the government. Whereas at the same time, we're going back to the data centers, the investment by cities and states and the federal government and government grants through colleges and the rest of it into these data centers is huge, right? Could outnumber any amount of resources ever given to any poor person that helps them live and survive. So these are obviously just like, these are race wars in which these AI folks, these folks are continually propping up these ideas because they work on their white constituencies who already have these ideas in the first place or whatever like that. So whether it's AI or whether it's whether they could do live commercials or make cartoons or animation, whether or not they could just spread words through images, all that shit they've already done. But again, these things continually to pop up because they serve the I'm not even saying they serve the interest of the larger development class or a capitalist class, but they do serve the interests of people who already believe in this type of racism and want to further believe in it as, oh, this is why I can't succeed in this country, or this is what's wrong with the economy of this country. And they don't look at how the economy is really built for a certain class of people, and everybody else is going to suffer. And instead of joining forces, of course, with those people, they turn on those folks and in their minds think that supporting somebody like a Donald Trump is going to set them free in terms of how in making the economy work for them again.
Yeah, because it's like back when we was in elementary school, we didn't question the textbooks, the pictures in the textbooks. We just went along with it. So now their textbooks is computers. So they put this stuff on the screen.
In those textbooks, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
We should.
Yeah, those textbooks should have been questioned too. But I
they should have.
Yeah.
But see, now their textbooks are computers. So whatever gets thrown up on a computer, a young mind can be like, okay, this is what it is. And if the algorithms are all going towards that way, and people can lead you to believe whatever.
And it's the visual image. Like again, ever since the advent of TV, which of course I was around for, according to the chat, it's the ability to capture people's mind by our visual sense. It may be our most powerful sense for those who have the use of sight, because the idea of visually capturing you and making you stay someplace for hours and upon hours and upon hours to sell you soap, right? To all these TV shows or movies that are on TV, they are really the commercials. The commercials are really the product or the purpose of these TV shows to sell us things. But again, the idea of like capturing images through AI, and like you said, how many people even? There's a lot of people out there who are relatively slow. They don't even know it's AI. They don't care if it's AI, right? To them, it's like, oh, this is real. Can you imagine that? Is this a documentary? That's what they think about that kind of shit.
People not watching their children again. People don't want to. People are turning their kids over to the phones, to the tablets, to the computers, to the laptops, and they don't want to be honest about it. You know what I mean? Like, well, look at all this stuff. The algorithm is feeding my son. Take the phone away. Take the tablet away. Now I know that means you actually have to deal with your child.
For real.
and I know you don't want to do that.
I gotta get him real FaceTime. Like real FaceTime.
I mean, but that's the crazy thing. So to everybody's point, yeah, you can sit around and scroll for hours and hours and hours. You know what I used to do for hours and hours and hours? I'd be at the library for hours and hours and hours. Were y'all those kinds of kids? Like I would go to the library in elementary school, middle school, and I would be there all afternoon because that's how I could occupy time, right? I mean, we're all going to get our indoctrination one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come in books or it's going to come in your hand. But you as a parent, the people, we can't just turn our kids over to our entire generations over to this technology just because, well, it's the technology, it's the future. They got to learn how to do it. Look at what it's doing to them, though.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? No.
Yeah, we can't put the blame all on AI. A lot of it is us. We have to make sure we're not addicted to the AI and addicted to this what we call peace and throwing our kids to the wolves. So I think we got Zenzabel back. She was ready to leave. She was in her feelings when we was talking about AI and technology.
What's wrong, Zenzabel?
She don't like that conversation. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Well, shit, we might not know what the fuck we talking about. Zenzabel might be right.
But the thing is, it's a discussion that some of us have that we feel a certain way. And, we got to look at both sides. We got to look at the whole realm of technology and what it's good for and what it's not good for.
Listen, all this shit is plugged into the cloud. All this shit is snitching. I'm serious. I know we are limited in what we can withhold, from the interwebs or from your privacy data and all that. But don't just willy-nilly give it up. You know what I mean? Just don't give it away. Let me sign up for this new thing and what's it and turn over all your data. And it's like, come on, y'all. We got to be more clever and more discerning about what all the technology is not good and it's not meant for our good. It's meant to enrich the corporations.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, really quickly, at these libraries or in these school libraries, they're banning books around Black folks.
That's
around
crazy.
Black history,
right?
Around LGBTQ history, around Latino history, and they're sanitizing the books even more so than they were sanitized. Because again, when we went to school, and Crispus Attucks was the primary Black figure we learned about historically. not Nat Turner, not Gabriel Prosser, not Harriet Tubman. That wasn't the focus. The focus was Crispus Attucks. So these, their ability to bring back these stories is what they want to do. And whatever history we are learning is supposed to be to sanitize history. And then after that, just go play your video games, right? Just go watch your AI, watch your shows and that kind of stuff. Just go watch your podcast or whatever. Don't get involved in society. Again, your role is not to get involved in society, is to let the great men rule society. And your role is to just be a consumer in society.
Yeah, pretty much. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show, y'all, where we talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? From starting off from talking about 50 people or more to AI and we do it all here.
We talk about circadian rhythms,
aliens, everything. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all come back here at 11 as we rock out and do a classical breakdown. Me and Kim Brown.
Oh shit! It's time to go.
It's damn there. Time to go. What you?
I'm paying attention to the time.
Time flies. We have some fun.
Well, what are you having coming up on your show, Kim? You don't know yet?
I don't know. I mean, it's stuff. Show 7 p.m. Friday. Come hang out. Join me.
Out. Yeah. And you got anything going on this weekend?
I do.
He's very excited to tell.
I know. Let me share my screen real quickly. I'm going to be in Los Angeles.
Wow. Why? It's a bad time to fly, Kamal. No, cancel that.
You ain't lying. I was wondering how these airports look.
It's a bad time to fly right now.
You get like 8 hours in advance to the airport to make sure I'm on the flight. I think this is gonna be one of my last discussions on Cop City, but like no Cop City, no Cop World. Black Lantern Books in LA, November 22nd at 6 p.m. I think that's 6533 West Boulevard. If you're in LA or plan to be, please come out and say hi to me. We have a chapter in LA. Black Lantern Books is a physical location that we as community movement builders help to support, to build, to pay rent. So it is a structure that is alive and well in the Black community because of the work of the larger organization. Very proud to do that. We are supporting other chapters and other work across the country, but this is one particular place that allows us to, and they have, speaking of books, a multitude of books that were donated by a Panther who passed away. And so they got all of his books and started a libraries and a place for folks to come organize, to come meet each other, to interact with each other, to read political books, to have political discussions. So very proud of the fact that we are doing that work in LA. So come out not only to talk about strategies and things that happen around Cop City, but to talk about strategies around how we organize our people in this time period.
Nice. Yo, big up to all those TSA people that's like, I'm not going to work because I ain't getting paid.
So there are a lot of them that's doing that. Is that why they're cutting?
I mean, that's why the airports is crazy. I seen, I think, what was the airport somewhere?
Houston.
That shit was crazy. And the one here in Atlanta, I mean, just think of how it is when the TSA people are working. Think of them not working. I mean,
so I saw a story about a TSA worker in Philadelphia, and the reason she said that she was calling out of work is because she doesn't have childcare, right? So it's some of them, it's not just I'm calling out of work because I'm protesting. No, I'm calling out of work because no one's here to watch my children. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to do? So people should consider or reconsider flying. You know, I think we can try to show some working class solidarity, maybe. Like, no one's changing their plans. Like, I keep seeing people, I'm going here for the holidays. I'm like, nigga, they are canceling flights starting tomorrow. Like, they're going to start scaling back flights according to the department. You know, transportation said they're going to start scaling back flights 10%. That's thousands of flights every day. So, you know,
figure it out.
Stay your black ass at home is basically what I'm trying to say. You ain't got to go no goddamn where. Come out, K. Franklin. But
Pretty
no,
much. You could stay home, get on the internet, and go to our BLK Liberation
Just stay
Media
on the internet.
and stay fly.
Spend 2
with it.
hours railing against that.
And stay fly by getting yourself a hoodie. All right, we out of here, y'all. So let's. We got something else?
All right, no, it says Trump officials to cut flights at 40 major airports if shutdown continues. And then there was this part at the very beginning, the airport you were mentioning. This is the traffic at the airport.
Woo! Good Lord. Oh, hell no. Nigga, I'm taking the Amtrak. All right.
Yeah, y'all. Adjust, you guys. We are in different times. Okay, we are in different times right now. I know they didn't make an announcement telling you that we switched over to different times on October 1st, but we are in different times right now. The way we cannot keep operating as though it was the status quo or as it was a year ago. It's different times. So adjust yourselves
accordingly. Damn, Kamal had to leave, I guess. All right, well, we about to leave too then.
He thought I was talking about him. I wasn't talking about him. I wasn't talking about you, Kamal. I know you got to go out there and slang the book and shit. I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about these people. You know what I'm talking about, Air Doctor. Yeah, girl, we going to wherever the fuck they going. I don't know. Vegas, we going to Vegas. Y'all ain't got to go to goddamn Vegas. Stay your black ass at home because these TSA people not getting paid and you coming to the airport is making their job harder. And if their job is harder, then planes start falling out the fucking sky. Who needs that?
Right.
No one needs that.
Kamal, go out to Cali and slang that B. Oh, okay. All right, we out of here. Remix for this shit.
Remix. 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 Remix.